There'll never be an exit sign into the kitchen of a restaurant, but 99% of the time there'll be a door to the outside from the kitchen. So just remember that, all right? But they will never put an exit sign pushing you into the kitchen. When you take the kids to the pediatrician, maybe they moved, and you're walking down the hallway, before you go into Suite 101, look down the hallway. Where's the closest exit sign? I look this way, nothing. This way, exit. So I know when I come out of here, I'm going left. I already have a plan. Already have it. All right? And this is part of that survivor's mindset I'm talking about. Okay? Just to be prepared. We're talking about the survivability spectrum. The only thing in between is time. You identify danger, make a decision, know where you're going, you're out. You're safe. Everybody else stuck in the OODA loop, they're in the danger box. Time's ticking, they're sliding down the spectrum. If you sense something is wrong, act with determination. In our society, when we want to call 911, what's it got to be?
Emergency.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, 911, what's your emergency? That's not good. 40 years ago, when they started the 911, they had to separate, okay, this is for business and this is for emergency. But we're kind of, we're even trying to change the culture of the 911 center, not to say 911, what's your emergency? Because if it's not an emergency, or we don't perceive this to be an emergency, we'll hang up. So 911, how can I help you? Because we don't want to be called when the crisis is ongoing. We want to be called before the crisis. So you can call 911 if you feel uncomfortable about your personal safety. Okay? If you feel uncomfortable about your personal safety, you can call 911 and say, hey, this is a suspicious person outside of my workplace, and I need to get to my car. Can someone come by and check it out? No problem. We'll be right there. Okay? It's uncomfortable. How often do you think the average person calls 911 for themselves or their family in their lifetime? Once. Right? It should be 15 or 20. Okay? Because you can only call 911 if it's an emergency. Right? I had a cookout last year, one of my great uncles had a heart attack. Right? Oh! I'm like, oh boy, this isn't good. Don't call the ambulance! He's dying. He's dying. Don't call the ambulance. Right? This crazy thing in our culture, we don't want to make a big fuss. You're dying. We need to get you to the hospital. Okay, don't go for the lights. Fuck, you're dying. We got to get you to the hospital. This is how we think, right? So it's out there 24/7. If you feel uncomfortable about your personal safety, you call 911. Okay? Make sense? Yes, ma'am.
I just been wondering the whole time when you keep talking about normalcy bias, we're also reading Blind Spot, and most white people live in white spaces, and there have been a number of calls to 911 when people feel uncomfortable, and it's really about implicit bias against people of color. And so I'm just wondering, and I've seen it happen here again. I have seen someone approach a person who worked here who was African American because he felt uncomfortable, and I then felt super uncomfortable. So I just want you to make sure you address that, because it does feel like people of color take the brunt of this.
So us, someone's of color, creed, sexual preference, gender, can never hurt us. Can never hurt us, right? The only thing that can hurt us is their behavior, right? Someone's color, creed, sexual preference, whatever, can never hurt us. But what we want to look at is the behavior of the human being. That's what we're calling 911 for, is the behavior of that certain individual, okay? It's always great to know what your biases are implicitly. Some of us, we all have them, right? We all have them. It's good to know them and keep them in check. But what we've also seen too is people afraid to call 911 because they've identified the anomalies in the behavior, but because there's been a specific race, or color, or creed they fail to call. So just understand that when you're doing this self-check, oh, I don't know if I should call, I don't know if I should call, this is gonna look bad. No. If you can articulate the anomaly in the behavior, you're fine. And that's what we look at, is someone's behavior. Okay? Not what they look like. Their behavior. And if you stick with that, you are 100% fine. You can articulate the behavior. And you're good. Okay? That answer your question? All right. So what we're going to do now, we're going to watch a movie. A video. Video. Quick clips, 5 minutes. All right? And this is, okay, what are we going to do during a crisis? Like stop, drop, and roll, this is run, hide, fight. Now, this isn't for when you're in the school, when you have a classroom of kids. You've been trained to do this. This is if you are on a field trip with the kids or in your own life. All right, this is, you're going to take the 2 trainings, the emergency preparedness training that you received at Gann Academy, and then you're going to take this training that you received today, and you're going to leverage them together to keep yourself safe and your students safe or your family safe. Okay? This is workplace violence. It's an active shooter in the workplace. It's violent up front, but it's not gory. I think everyone here will be able to handle it, but it just gets your attention on the front side. After we watch the movie, I will we'll break it all out in the different options and we'll talk about them. Okay?
It may feel like just another day at the office, but occasionally, life feels more like an action movie than reality. The authorities are working hard to protect you and to protect our public spaces. But sometimes bad people do bad things. Their motivations are different. The warning signs may vary, but the devastating effects are the same. And unfortunately, you need to be prepared for the worst. If you were ever to find yourself in the middle of an active shooter event, your survival may depend on whether or not you have a plan. The plan doesn't have to be complicated. There are 3 things you could do that make a difference. Run, hide, fight. First and foremost, if you can get out, do. Always try and escape or evacuate, even when others insist on staying. Encourage others to leave with you, but don't let them slow you down with indecision. Remember what's important, you, not your stuff. Leave your belongings behind and try to find a way to get out safely. Trying to get yourself out of harm's way needs to be your #1 priority. Once you are out of the line of fire, try to prevent others from walking into the danger zone and call 911. If you can't get out safely, you need to find a place to hide. Act quickly and quietly. Try to secure secure your hiding place the best you can. Turn out lights, and if possible, remember to lock doors. Silence your ringer and vibration mode on your cell phone. And if you can't find a safe room or closet, try to conceal yourself behind large objects that may protect you. Do your best to remain quiet and calm. As a last resort, if your life is at risk, whether you are alone or working together as a group, fight. Act with aggression. Improvise weapons. Disarm. And commit to taking the shooter down, no matter what. Try to be aware of your environment. Always have an exit plan. Know that in an incident like this, victims are generally chosen randomly. The event is unpredictable and may evolve quickly. The first responders on the scene are not there to evacuate or tend to the injured. They are well trained and are there to stop the shooter. Your actions can make a difference for your safety and survival. Be aware and be prepared. And if you find yourself facing an active shooter,